Welcome to In It to Win It. This is Steve Barton, and thank you for tuning in. We are here with Guanajuato Silver and James Anderson, the CEO. James, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much, Steve. Nice meeting you. Thanks for inviting me on.
Yes. Okay, so Guanajuato Silver, we've gotten some questions on that from the Hive. What's your guys' market cap and cash position?
So market cap's about $100 million currently. Cash position's about $4 million US dollars. The company continues to grow rapidly. We like to call ourselves Mexico's fastest growing silver mining company.
Okay, and what exchange do you guys trade on?
Principally on the Venture Exchange in Canada. That's where most of the trading takes place, but we do trade pretty well over the counter in the United States on the OTCQX market.
Okay, you are over the counter.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to adjust your microphone right here so it doesn't touch on your tie and everyone can hear you. Okay, so we've recently had some, we're talking off camera about AMLO and what's going on with, like all governments, they like to steal.
Right.
They're trying to do that with a lithium business that doesn't exist in Mexico. Maybe you could give us 30 seconds on that.
Right, okay, so what we were talking about was Mexico's proposition to be able to nationalize the lithium industry in Mexico. So the AMLO government did that a number of months ago. What does that mean? It doesn't mean very much, when you're on the ground, because there is no lithium business in Mexico. So what they're nationalizing, I'm not exactly sure. It's a politically motivated thing. He can, kind of suggest to his base that he's not going to get pushed around by, big international mining companies. The obvious lead-on question is how does that look, with the rest of the mining industry in Mexico? I don't think that there's any push from any political parties in Mexico to nationalize any of the precious metals or base metals mining in Mexico. It's not going to make sense, and if something like that would happen, it would be very, very messy indeed. So I just don't see that.
Okay, and what about as far as having to re-up your permits? They went from 50 years to 30. That part does affect you guys, right?
Well, so there's a new mining law that has been presented, that has been passed by Congress in Mexico. There's still a number of different judicial processes that it has to go before it really takes effect. It is not helpful. Okay. There is nothing mining friendly about it. Yeah. However, things like mining concessions shrinking from 50 years to 30 years, maybe that makes sense. Okay. And there are mining concessions in Mexico where they've been owned by a family, by an individual, by a small Mexican company for years and years and years. It's sometimes very difficult to know who owns the concession. So to shrink that a little bit, maybe that's not such a bad idea. Okay. And indeed, in most mining jurisdictions in the world, in most political jurisdictions in the world, having a 10-year tenure for mine exploitation, and then you go back to the government and renegotiate that for an extended period of time. That part doesn't bother me. Some of the other provisions in the body of the new mining legislation does. It makes it very, very difficult to borrow money against the value in the concessions. Yeah. And a whole bunch of other little things. Just generally speaking, it's not helpful. But as I said to you off camera before, I don't know of a truly mining-friendly jurisdiction anymore. I think Mexico continues to be one of the least evils in a world of very evil governments towards mining. Yeah.
Okay. And what? Let's see. How's the regulation affecting? We talked about that. As far as tell us about your team. Who you have in place? You guys got 4 mines.
Yep.
Right. Tell us about your team running them.
Yeah. Okay. So 4 mines, 3 production facilities, all put together in the last 2.5 years. One of the things that we're really proud of is having a 100% Mexican mining operation team in Mexico. On the board of directors, there are 2 Canadians, 2 Americans, and 2 Mexicans. And I think that provides a real balance towards where the capital's coming from and where the operations are. But the most important fellow on our team really operationally is Ramon Davila. Ramon is our president. He's head of all Mexican operations. Ramon has the best CV in Mexican mining. Ramon was the chief operating officer of First Majestic from when that company had 4 employees to when it had 4,000 employees. He grew the company from 0 production to 12 million silver equivalent ounces of production per year. And the only reason he left that gig was to take a political role with the state of Durango, where he lives, where he became the economy minister. So having Ramon on our team and embedded in everything that we're doing, all the growth of the company, is very, very important, and he brings business contacts, political contacts, and mining know-how in a manner that very few others can do.
Okay, and so from his previous projects, are there any similarities in these projects that he's managing now?
Well, I think there are. I mean, principally they're underground, high-grade mining operations. These are perhaps a little bit smaller, but it is sort of internally. We've looked back at the growth that First Majestic had in the first 3 or 4 years versus ours. We're faster, right? I mean, we've put these mines back into production. Our production growth, with less money, our production growth is considerably faster. That's not to say that we're done, and probably leading into that other question that you had, what comes next? We're not big enough yet. We've built the company very quickly. We're going to continue to do that, and there are many, many, many opportunities in central Mexico to expand our business, our mining business, and that's what we will do. So people can look forward to that in the next 12 to 18 months.
Okay, and so what is that expansion like? What does that mean for shareholders? Where do you see this going in the next 12, 18, 24 months, and how is that going to make us money?
Yeah, so I think let's just back up a second, and let's acknowledge that the public company shares in the junior mining precious metals industry have been a complete disaster. Yeah. Very, very hard to find a true winner. I will say that $1 invested in Guanajuato Silver 2 years ago, 2 months ago, a year ago, 6 months ago, has probably performed better than just about any peer, any comparable that you can throw at it. So we're reasonably proud of that, although from a real world perspective, that might not feel great for most shareholders. What does that look like is the question. It looks like expansion. We've bought the mines that we own really cheaply, and then have had to spend a fair bit of money putting them back into production. Doing something that's going to be immediately accretive to shareholder value, that's what we do at Guanajuato Silver. That's not going to change.
Okay, all right. What's your guys' all-in sustaining cost right now between the mines?
All-in sustaining cost, it's in our presentation on our website and in the brochures. Last quarter, it's about $22.50.
Okay.
It's high, it's elevated. Pardon me. But at least with our company, it makes sense. We've taken these fixer-uppers, and we are spending money aggressively to put them back into production and to expand production, which we've done quarter over quarter for the last 9 quarters.
Okay. What do you think your all-in sustaining cost will be a year and a half from now?
Well, that does fall squarely into forward-looking statements, but I'm going to take a guess, and I'm going to say $18.50.
Okay, awesome. James, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
We will put all your links down in the show notes. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like and subscribe, and we will talk to you next time.